Hey, we're going on an adventure. Thank you for tuning in to Relocating to Disney. And let me tell you about the adventure we're going to go on. Now, if you want to make memories, some of the best ways to make memories is to do something that you normally wouldn't do. And you'd be surprised, sometimes those are the most lasting memories and often the most fun. They're also sometimes the most craziest ideas that you come up with. So we have a crazy idea that we're going to do with the hope that it's going to be fun and it's going to make a lot of memories. So let me first back up a little bit and explain to you how we came to this idea that we're going to do this. So originally, we knew that we have to sell the New York house, and to do that, we need to reduce how much is in the house. We need big open spaces, which means a lot of the furniture has to go. It also means a lot of our possessions, and let's call it clutter, although it's not really clutter, has to go. So our plan was to rent a pod, fill it, and then send it out ahead of us. Send it down to Florida and put it in storage. Now that was going to be fairly expensive to store that pod for a number of months. But that was our original thought and our original plan. Fast forward a little bit to February. We go to Florida on a February trip. We see a house we like. We bid on it. Looks like that's going to come through. And we're going to close on that house the end of March. So now we're thinking, well, we got to get down there right after closing because there's some things that have to be done with the house. We want to set up some security on it and get some cameras in there. We want to get the rugs replaced. We want to get the vents cleaned out. We have to set up who's going to do the pool, doing the lawn mowing, and all these other services have to be set up. Some of it can be done remotely. Some of it can't be. Well, we were weighing, do we hire a management company to come do some of this work for us, or do we just go down there and do it ourselves? And we decided, why don't we just go down and do it ourselves? So the idea is that the week after the house closes, we're going to go down to Florida and spend about a week getting everything set, and then come back to New York for the remaining number of months, get this house sold and get things settled, then finally move down in July. So we're thinking about this now some more. We're going to take a bunch of our stuff, put it in storage down in Florida, and then we're going to go down after the house closes, and we're going to do some work there. And we thought, well, wait a minute. Why are we storing this pod? Why don't we just have the pod go to the house, and we'll store the stuff at the house? Save a ton of money. Some of the challenges with that is we're only at the house for a short period of time, a certain number of days. And to time that pod to arrive exactly while we are there is like aligning planets. Not only that, but I need help unloading that pod. So arranging workers to be there to help unload that pod is like arranging universes. So that's a problem. How do you fix that? You get a crazy idea like we did. And the crazy idea is, instead of taking our stuff and putting it in a pod and shipping the pod to Florida, instead, we're going to take our stuff and we're going to put it in a moving truck and drive the moving truck to Florida. Our original plan was to fly down, do some work, and fly back. Instead, we're going to drive down, do some work, and then fly back. We'll drive the truck down, and that's going to be our adventure, is driving a moving truck to Florida. Now, during the recent in-law move, I drove a 15-foot truck, a couple of hours, not a big deal at all. But I don't know what size truck I'm going to need, because I don't know how much stuff between now and then we can get ready. So I ordered a 26-foot truck. Now, they told me that if I don't need a 26-foot truck, I can downgrade it to something smaller. which I likely will have to do. But, worst case, I'm driving a 26-foot truck to Florida. Now, that's not impossible. It's been done. But it hasn't ever been done by me. Okay? So my wife and I driving 55 miles an hour between New York State and Florida for probably 3 days. I hope it's not going to take more than 3 days, 2.5 days maybe, I'm hoping, in a rental moving truck. It sounds like that's going to be interesting. Now, when I think of other people that have moved to Florida, particularly my friends, one of them moved to Florida, and when he left in a snowstorm. So that's how he remembers New York, leaving in that snowstorm, which is such a perfect end to a New York story. Another friend, when he went to Florida, he kind of caravanned with other people, and the caravan included this gigantic camper that they drove all the way down to Florida. What an adventure that must have been. I can't even imagine driving through the highways and the cities, driving this giant camper. I mean, you're driving along and it's like, oh, we're supposed to take that exit. In a car, I might hit the brakes, then hit the gas and get in that lane. In a camper, you got to know about 10 miles in advance before you need to do a lane change, right? So I imagine that's a little bit like what it's going to be in a 26-foot moving truck. But that's the adventure we decided to pick. We are going to go for this at the end of the month. I have the truck rented. We have the plane tickets to fly back. We've got all the arrangements made. Now we just got to get that house to close, and we are set to go. So that's the adventure. I hope you tune in and see how it goes. It should be fun.
Thank you.